We're here at Anywhere Audio and More, and we are working on this 2017 Lamborghini Huracan for a stereo upgrade from the factory. The factory speakers only come with these woofer speakers in the door panel, and we started disassembling this already, so we've already taken them out of the factory location in there, but these are the tweeters, and that's all you get. So there's a location back here with these panels, but there is no speaker. So what we've done is we've taken this side apart and already affixed the new speaker. And it bolts right in the factory grill. And that'll sit right in there. And here in the passenger door, we've taken apart already to show you the massive 8-inch speaker that they put in from the factory. And all it is just cheap, basic paper cone material and this very dinky magnet. So needless to say, this thing does not play very good sound quality, very good volume, and we are going to fix that. So let's move on and get to the next step. So over here on the workbench, we've got the tweeter that we showed you that was on top of the dash with the factory mount. And we've taken that bracket and redesigned it so that the Sony tweeter fits in the same housing. And it'll bolt right back into factory, just like it came with it. And here's that 3-inch ES mid. And we have here the 6.5-inch driver. So this is the Sony ES 3-way component speaker system, meaning that there's 3 speakers so that they all play their own individual tones and maximize the sound performance out of them. So you have this 6.5-inch playing the mid-bass and mid-ranges. You have the 3-inch we showed you prior, which is playing all the mid-range, and then of course the tweeter playing all the highs and the bright tones. But again, just to show the difference in these speakers, I mean, the magnet is almost the size of the whole basket. So it can play a very, very, very good range of sound, low-end tones, etc., versus what the factory gives you. That's the magnet. And of course, this is an 8-inch speaker, so we have to make these quick custom pods to house it and make it fit right. And of course, there's a spacer in there to give it the proper depth. And then we'll treat these and install them into the door panels, and we'll show you the next step of sound deadening the doors. This is the sound deadening material, all the black membrane sheeting that we've installed into the door panels. And what this does is it helps seal the door and give better acoustics with the sound qualities. And the speaker itself has this material sandwiched between each piece here so that it absorbs any kind of vibrations and basically, again, assists in giving the best sound possible from the door. Just a quick look here in the corner where the factory tweeter was, and now the Sony tweeter is mounted right there in place. The customer also requested to have a subwoofer installed, so there's not any trunk area. That's where the engine's located, and of course the trunk in the front is rather small, so we are going to custom build a floor well subwoofer box. And so basically we're going to take this space in the corner, and down here behind this panel is the fuse box and one of the computers for the car. So we're actually going to take all of this space and we're going to redesign where it's all factory mounted and make some extra room so that the subwoofer can sit into this location. Just wanted to show the progress here of relocating the positions of the fuse box and everything else here in the footwell. So we were able to take this harness, which was on the floor down here, and move it up onto this area here So we'll get that all fastened. And the biggest change is the depth of the fuse box. So it used to be mounted right here to the stud, and now we've actually moved it back a substantial amount, about 4.5 inches. So that'll gain us a lot of room, not only for the customer's foot welds so that they don't lose a lot of foot space, but also maximize the performance of the subwoofer box and give the best output possible for the subwoofer tones. One other thing we're going to address is the customer complained that their XM radio reception was cutting in and out and not very good. And so upon inspection of the car, well, first off, we put this plastic wrap on the paint so it kind of protects a lot of the areas of the vehicle. So if we walk by or walk across, or just for extra safety precaution, we just wrap it real quick on there. It's just a safety wrap. It comes right off. It doesn't affect the paint at all. So anyway, so the XM antenna, it's factory located here. So underneath this factory panel is where the XM antenna houses. Now the issue is that this carbon fiber wing on top was added on. So now that antenna is trying to go through this piece and then also through this entire piece, and that's where it's losing all its reception. So we're actually going to disassemble this whole entire back section to get access to that antenna, and then we're going to relocate it somewhere else in the car so it gets better reception and isn't as blocked. After a whole lot of hours, the custom subwoofer box is finally completed. So as you can see here, this is the subwoofer's false floor where you have your feet rest while the passenger sits inside. And to access it, simply remove this custom cover panel, and there's the actual subwoofer box itself. Now the subwoofer, of course, is removable, so you take out the screws, and then down inside the subwoofer box, down in here, there's a factory stud that comes up out of the floor, and we bolted it in. So just one screw inside and a few in the subwoofer, and this whole box is removable, and you can access your fuse box panel and everything else behind it. So we've got our custom wiring from inside the vehicle run out here with some quick disconnects made so that the technicians who work on the vehicle or needs to be removed, we can remove the actual trunk liner unit. And we've got some harness all run through here going into the cavity of the vehicle. And then we've mounted our custom made amplifier rack down here on the floor with this removable panel, which now you just slide this down in, and that will actually cover this amp rack, giving them a new floor and still being able to use the trunk. After a little over a week, we're finally finished the installation of the audio system in this Lamborghini. Down there is where the subwoofer went. And all the factory panels are back on. And out here in the front, there's the trunk area. And just lift up these tabs. This panel comes out. And there you've got your amplifiers. Pop this right back in. It's all ready to go.